That heifer right there just don't even care.
Take yourself out.
Yeah.
What do you say, folks? Hope everybody having a fine Sunday evening. We've had a pretty good one, I'll say.
It was a beautiful day outside.
Oh man, we have just had some, well, yes, we've had some beautiful days. The mornings have been chilly, but the days have just been phenomenal. As far as weather, perfect temps. What?
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yes. Sorry, we had to have a little discussion.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Did I see Stuffy in here?
Yes. Stuffy just came in and Danae.
We was talking about y'all yesterday.
Danae. I mean, big time.
Annie Boo's like, where's my Danae been?
I know. It's like, ain't no way. Oh, hey, Sarah. She came in too.
Appreciate everybody piling on in here for us this Sunday evening. Let me go ahead and get my buttons pushed before we get too deep. I did turn the volume up, so we don't have to worry about that. If anybody decides to come in this evening, all that technical work is taken care of.
In theory.
In theory.
In theory.
Had us a good week. The ones of you that's been with us for the last year for sure, we're getting into our time of year for the annual Bible conference. This coming week, we are pumped.
We are. But that does mean that at least I probably won't have the energy to be here next Sunday night because our conference starts Thursday and runs to Sunday evening. So we'll just have to kind of play that one by ear.
Yeah, we'll see how we feel on that, because during this time we're the servants for the Lord, which we always are, but we're the servants for our missionaries coming in, the preachers coming in, and all that. So we helping out in the kitchen and anywhere in the church we can to make sure folks is fed good and preachers are taken care of.
There's a that stay in the church, like in the dorm rooms and stuff. So we're usually up there by like 7 doing like biscuits and eggs and bacon or something.
But
and then we don't get home without,
I will say this, for the ones that don't want to hear me preach, don't tune in the Sunday after, because I am even more fired up when that thing is
I think
going on.
I went on a spell last year on something.
But yeah, got together with some folks today, just kind of getting warm up on it, but we're excited on that end. Trying to get our beekeeping behinds together.
That's what I'm talking about. I cannot.
Yes, we got equipment ready. All we got to do is just get the bugs in them, ready to go. Don't have. Are we talking food already, y'all?
Apparently, I said biscuits and eggs and bacon, and that set Lee off.
Y'all idle down. We'll get to the food section near the end there. Like Mr. Steve Amos said the other week, we at least got to have one portion talking about some grub. And that we will, because let me make this note. I seen on, I think it was Joey's live last night, Mr. Russell Kootman saying Miss Sharon made them a pot of gumbo up there in the North Country.
wanted to ask him if she used our recipe because she had asked me after me and her ate it at the restaurant that day. And she was like, "Oh, I like this." She got me to send her grandma's recipe for it. So I didn't know if she used that one or if she found one like online or something.
That's funny you put that. I just barely caught Mr. Steve Angus there.
Hey, Joey.
Barbecue chicken and collard greens for him tonight, the man said. But we had that for Sunday dinner
At church.
at church today, which it was a spread of all kind of different stuff, but
It's a potluck at church.
it's better than potluck. It is like you lucked
It's
up.
a Southern style potluck.
Oh yeah, we had what a brisket. One feller made, somebody else made pulled pork, somebody else did barbecue chicken, every kind of green you can imagine.
Sarah said, "Hey, it's hungry again,
Yeah.
Joey."
Uh,
Joey came in on that.
baby limas. Somebody made a fresh crab salad.
There was cabbage and stuff. Like, y'all, I eat like pretty much a vegetarian plate. There was turnip greens and bacon straight out of the garden. Turnip greens, like they picked them yesterday and cooked them, or they cooked them yesterday. But yeah, I ate that. The turnip greens, lima beans, cabbage and sausage, and broccoli and cheese casserole was about all I ate today.
Well, I ate plenty of pork and brisket. Trying to get with that. So I had a little bit of chicken. Somebody made a chicken Alfredo, homemade chicken Alfredo. It's all good. But for the most part, it don't matter. If you go, I'll say almost all of them because there's been a
I resent
few.
that lamb.
But you go to a church cooking, buddy, there's going to be some good food there. And it don't matter. But
DC, you don't like lima? I don't think you've ever had them cooked right.
well, I didn't like them neither as a kid. You, mama and daddy, there were some nights I did go to bed hungry because I didn't eat them, and that's just how mama and daddy. But the only way my daddy would get me to eat them, the big limas, was put a little bit of sugar on.
Oh,
Just a
no,
little bit.
DC, nobody's cooked them right. They ain't supposed to be chalky.
No, no, they're supposed to just.
Okay, thank you. I can work with that later. He said something about, he said that I like the older ladies cooking, that is. These young wives got them whopping biscuits and canned beans. I told him I resent that. Yeah, DC, I was going to ask you for that when we get in the prayer list in a minute.
No,
I guess he's talking.
ladies and gentlemen, I have been blessed with a woman that can cook scratch. You can turn her loose in that kitchen and she can put something together, and it's going to taste good by the time she gets done
Very little
making
comes
them.
out. Definitely don't do the wok biscuits.
I'll put it like this: the only food that I have not liked that she made was some kind of eggplant lasagna thing. Her sister gave her a recipe for.
It was supposed to be like a chicken parmesan, but an eggplant parmesan. Hers was really good when she cooked it, but y'all, I butchered that eggplant. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to it, but Tim made a meal off the pasta sauce stuff I made to put on it.
Yeah, I dug what I want out of there.
Yeah, that was my one and only time trying to cook eggplant. I give it up after that.
Is Todd in here?
I haven't seen Todd.
If only we'd had some of that eggplant honey. You know what I'm saying, Todd? If
Yeah.
you out there.
Okay, I need some schooling on that, Sarah, because I mean, the sauce was good, but I killed that eggplant.
Yeah,
Let's see.
that's the only
There's
meal.
Mr. Russell.
You get done typing, I'm gonna shout out everybody out there right fast, and we'll talk a little talk. Then got some pictures I want to show y'all, and just a little snippet of beekeeping news. We have not. Y'all I ain't gonna tell you no tale. What?
DC, his stepdad, he said there was excessive water retention in the tissue around the heart. They fixed the retaining water, but he did have a heart attack. The artery that they did the stent on had issues with the volume. My word.
Did they
Well, I hope he's
diagnose him?
feeling better.
They diagnosed him with CHF. If they didn't, that'd be mighty surprising on my end. But I'm no doctor. I just drove him to the doctor.
We're praying for him and your mama, DC. I know
Yeah.
that's hard on her.
You want to do that? Then we'll get into carrying on. Yeah, we're going to cut loose on this prayer list real quick. If there's anybody we need to add to, take away from, let us know. Because probably in the next week or so, we're going to kind of revise some of it. Yeah, and condense it down to more
I need to
current.
rewrite it anyway. There's so many things that I've had to mark out when people graduate off the prayer list, which is a good thing.
Yes.
But I need to reword them. Okay. So, all right, we got Mr. Mark Miller, and he said he's rolling tonight. He was in the chat a few minutes ago. Let's see, Ed and his family, the the Dirt Roosters dad, Mr. Pat, Miss Deb, Grammy Lisa's son and two granddaughters, Tom's wife and his mother-in-law, Mr. Donnie, Mike Tangley and his family, DC's parents, and y'all just got the update on his stepdaddy. Emma Hoskins, baby Luca, and the family that lost their little one. Deanna Wheeler, her son Reed, Rachel Wilson, Rachel's sister Amanda, and her niece Riley. Philip's mama, his friends BJ and his wife, Bobby's Bees and his family, Aaron Frederick, Mr. Larry and Miss Sherry Gandy, and Mr. Larry's mama, Keith Larimore, Hillbilly Earl, Steve Amos's brother and mother-in-law, all the storm and war victims, PJ Hanley, Stafford Mike, Ricky Rourke, 29 Homestead, Catherine Stun and his family, Sarah and her family, all of our government officials, Mr. Randy's mother-in-law, Cece's Texas Garden, Miss Janae Wood, our favorite Miss Leona, Terry Chapman and his family, Kenneth and Chris Wilkinson, Vincent Kalunga's son Ephraim, Terry Berlin, Redfish's wife Miss Janet, Kimberly's daughter-in-law Amanda and her family, Mr. Mark's wife Miss Crystal, Grammy Lisa's friend Deidre, let's see, the beekeeper from the stream team that was having trouble, Brian Baker's niece Allie, let's see, Brother Scotty McDowell, our preacher friend that we added. He had been diagnosed with kidney cancer, but he had his surgery earlier this week, and he got a really awesome report. The doctors came back saying they were so confident they had gotten all the cancer. He didn't even have to have treatments, which is like unheard of when you have a cancer diagnosis. He just has to have a scan every 6 months for I think they said 5 years to
Mm,
make sure it doesn't come back. So thank you, Lord, for that one.
yes, indeed.
Let's see. Kenneth Allen, that's Phillips B yard owner. David Milan was the border patrol agent that lost his life. Let's see. Steve O, Sarah's friend Miss Dolores, the Taylor boys outdoors. He lost his father, so I remember their family. Miss Jan. Let's see, the DC and Philly plane crash victims. Bob and his family. Oh, you didn't mark that other one off the list.
Period.
Okay. All right, let's see. Sarah's friend Peppa Rookie. Steven's dad.
I think so. Homestead Adventure, Stephen.
He doesn't take very good notes.
I didn't. I
Prayer
just
book.
jotted down the last week we were on.
All right, let's see. Russell Amon's sister-in-law, James Knowles' wife, trying to recover from COVID. And then Sarah texted me and asked me to add Denny Ray. Said he went out to check his bees and had lost several colonies, like almost all of his colonies, like a lot of people.
Larimore said, thank God for all the blessings. May not be the outcome we want to be happy with, but be happy with what you have. You can take him off the list, but add Miss Brenda, his wife. She's having issues with her knee. See, I'll tell you, it's her putting that foot in your behind all the time. Probably what it is up there.
She quit making her.
Well, we got to test the limits. Well, I say time quite often.
I'm glad you're feeling better, Miss Jane. Oh, well, there's Russell.
The chit chats. Let me run through and holler at some of y'all real fast. Who was it? I think Grayson got first. Jack and Danae come in on the second this evening. Good job there, Mister. Got Deb the Sun Bunny, Mike Tangway, Mr. Steve Amos, Mr. Dan Weaver, Keith Spillman, good to see you. Mr. Randy Tar Hill, Jay, good to see you, Captain. Grace, we got Grayson in here.
Because he come in and called first and then dipped back out again.
Oh, Ziggy. Ziggy's bees are my spirit animals. Some of y'all may remember that the other week. Yeah, it was live a while back. Hallelujah Bee Farm, Stuffy, Miss Sarah, Phillip. I didn't see him get it, but she's got control of the phone up here, so I need to see. Bill Lee.
It's didn't.
But I ain't had good eyesight. Yeah. Lee, Mr. Dennis Barney. Who else? I don't want to miss anybody running through here. Now I got Mr. Bill Lee. Edwards Honeybees. Paul. Good to see you there, brother. One of them Louisianans over there. Larimore. Mr. Mark. It's me again, Joey. Tell the missus we said hello. We enjoyed that fellowship over at Lee's the other week.
And I already know that Oliver, he did his very best to sneak out of my house with that jar of creamed honey you sent us home with.
And look, he did. He did on that.
He did. He tried to get me good. But he tasted it and he was like, anything. Oh my God. Dude was tripping over that honey.
I'm going to say that's Mr. Mike. Beyond the Lake, Mr. Mike. DC. Russell Cookman here, Russell Amon. Y'all holler at me quick, Rodney. Yep. Darren. I'm trying to remember. Brian Baker's Bees.
Right.
Chit.
Got the phone, so I didn't see y'all come in.
Okay, it's in your control. But yeah, Joey, that little joker, whenever we told him it's this stuff, you remember doing the honey for It's Me Again, Joey, for the youth? And he's like, yes, sir. I said, this come from Mr. It's Me Again, Joey. And sure enough, when he found that, he was like, pretty well, his words of, can I take this with me? But we got it here for him, and that little joker digs into it every time he gets over here now. But what else? Where was we? What you got?
Mr. Bill Lee was saying we need to go and get storm traps out for sure because he caught one yesterday.
Where you at, Mr. Bill? That's interesting, because if you're down here in our neck of the woods, it's going to light a fire under my behind, because I was going to go this weekend and try to set some out. Ooh, pardon me. And get everything set out. We got frames ready. We got boxes ready. We got them hit with the long-lasting lure we made yesterday. Last year.
We sure didn't make it yesterday.
Uh-uh. And
No. Mr. Larry Kennedy just came in. Hadn't seen you in.
Good to see you, Mr. Larry. Miss Sherry, if you're in the background there too. But I guess bringing that up
George.
in Georgia. Well, I mean, he's pretty close to him. Sarah made her a batch again this year of the long lasting.
That's what she said. I made this one yesterday.
And you know what Hannah was telling me, you put in the text message there, Sarah. I don't know why we didn't think of that whenever we was doing I guess the last bit of it, pouring it into the little cups. But anybody that doesn't know, the long-lasting lure we made last year, we just picked up off somebody else in their channel, just putting things together. But beeswax, propolis, and lemongrass. Mixed all of that together with some coconut. Wasn't it coconut oil?
Yeah.
And just made it to where you can rub it on the inside of boxes and this and that. Long story short on that, apparently Miss Sarah's Happy Hive, made her another round, and the residue that she had left after pouring her little molds, she took cotton balls.
She just wiped the pan out with cotton balls. She was like, I'm saving these for extra lures. Like, dude, that is brilliant.
But
Brilliant.
Genius, Miss Sarah. Just take them in there. Drop them in like you do your Q-tip or something, and hey, them babies is good to go. But yes, the only things we got to do now is get them puppies up on a tree or alongside of buildings, wherever the case may be. We just got to get them out now. All the fine details are taken care of. Like I said, boxes are packed out with frames. Wax is good on them. Bottom boards is clean. The whole shooting match. Like I said, all we got to do now is just get the bugs in the box around here. Then, Lord willing, once we'll probably take next Monday off after getting done with this Bible conference, because every year it wears tails out. Any of y'all that does anything like that, whether it's one for your church or for your schools, whatever it is, you 2 or 3 days in on a conference of any kind, it'll wear your tail out getting everything put together. But get over there to Lance's, and about that time we should pretty well be in our safe zone, I believe, to potentially go ahead and try a couple walk away splits. But then once we get past, oh no, right before Easter, we'll probably start doing some bigger ones. But at least just test them out.
The very one chance for us to have schools down here. Oh. Brian, I've got a ton of baking to do this week for church this weekend. So
I got a lot of eating to do.
yeah. No, I gotta do our like my mama's chocolate chip cookie recipe. I gotta bake like 170 cookies or so. So that I'm gonna try to do a video on that for sure. But then I'm planning on doing a honey lemon pound cake for Saturday night. So if I can get that baked Thursday, then I'm gonna do a video. So well, look, I know they probably didn't want this to get out, but it's in the chat. So y'all please forgive me. I can't go past that without acknowledging the Lord there. But I saw Ricky Rourke put in the chat, Larry, we can't thank you enough for paying for our boxes to be waxed at Cargill's place.
Well, let me
Pastor Larry and Miss Jan went and paid. That's just awesome, y'all. I know y'all aren't looking for that, but I couldn't. I couldn't just go past that. That's incredible.
Well, I can't.
That's Jesus right there.
Yeah.
Being shown in y'all.
Is Ian in here?
Yeah, Ian just came.
Huh. Good to see you up there. Hopefully, y'all thawing out in the North Country a little bit, hopefully. Or to show enough North Country up there.
You just passed Mr. Randy. I mean, Pastor Larry. Oh, yeah. And, everybody's voting for the honey lemon pound cake video.
Hey, she did one last year, and that baby was off the charts.
That's just really awesome, y'all. So I just want to throw that out there.
I can't remember. You remember whose honey you put on it last year?
It was either Lee or Jamie. Because I used Sarah's in the banana pudding.
Mm-hmm.
So it was either Lee or Joey.
Yeah, we'll do it again this year. Probably won't be much talker into it, but pick one of y'all's out back here.
Yeah, I get it. It's more of a lemon pound cake with a honey lemon glaze. It's like I'll squeeze lemon juice and honey. Most of the time I don't like the glaze you make like with the confectioner sugar or whatever, but fresh lemon juice mixed with honey and make a glaze. But I don't like it on a pound cake.
Oh, it was good. Well,
I was gonna say while we're on that, we got some pictures that we were sent that made my day.
I'm gonna show this one here at the house.
Oh.
Then here, let me turn the camera off on us because it'll mess the picture. Button. That's in peaches blooming here at the house. Them things are full and just beautiful, beautiful. We was talking to the widow of the gentleman that gave us these trees a few years back, and she was encouraged to see them. She said, Brother Joe's peach trees at home are doing the exact same thing and looking good. But let me mosey into him. We're gonna rummage through Mr. Randy Tar Heel wax dipping process. What was it, February 28th? He done his wax dipping the other day. And
oh, that sucks, right? You said frost killed up here.
All his peaches or blooms or whatever. There we go. There's another one there. Mr. Randy texted me day before yesterday, or a day or two ago, and he sent me a couple pictures. I'll show y'all in just a second.
Whoa, DC video what?
And, see who his visitors were. Mr. Randy's up there.
Joey said his pear trees.
Oh man, them babies is all up and down the high.
Blair said our pear tree's in full bloom, but it's gonna get to 27 tonight.
Uh-oh.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I hope it don't put any of y'all in a bad bind. And let's see here. These are just truly salt of the earth kind of folks. And Lord willing, we'll all get the chance to meet everybody one day. But Pastor Larry, Miss Jan, Mr. Randy.
I wish we were gonna get to go up there, DC. No, we just got sent pictures of Mr. Randy's visitors.
And then we got the boss lady.
Mm-hmm. This was my favorite, y'all. I thought that was like the best picture I've
That's
seen.
it. Miss Leona.
She looks so good.
She does. Mr. Randy standing tall up there next to her. That's a fine picture there, y'all. Thank you much, Mr. Randy, for sending those to us so we could share with everybody.
No worries, DC.
And that's awesome. About who was it, Ricky? You said?
Hey, for Ricky's equipment. For Mr. Randy to bit Ricky's equipment.
Okay. All right. Well, God love y'all on that end too. All around. Hope you had a good turnout on that thing.
Yeah.
That end of things, Mr. Randy. And if the Lord wills and we still here next year, let us know and we'll try to get the word out as best we can. Once again, for you up there. Anybody else, y'all want to share something like that on Sunday Fellowship? Send it to us an email, or if you got one of our cell phones, text us the pictures and say, hey, this is what I got going on around here at the house, and we'd be happy to share what y'all got. But like I said, hope everything went well. I know folks are going to be happy having their boxes dipped and waxed. That way you just done with it for many, many moons.
I think Lee, and that's something else too. I hadn't been able to be on here since we were at Lee's. I hadn't talked to anybody except going on Ricky's the other night. But I'm gonna tell y'all what, meeting Lee's mama and Joey and Miss Lisa, y'all please don't take offense to this at all, because I thoroughly enjoyed meeting everybody. But I gotta say, I think Lee's mama was my favorite that I got to meet that day. That woman, she was just the nicest, most open, just friendly person. So easy to talk to.
I think that Joey and them can contest to this, that Joey's mama, Lee's mama,
Yeah.
is a good, fine example of Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
When we didn't have time to stay and eat dinner, that woman went and raided Lee's snack cabinet and sent us home with like 5 or 6 Debbie cakes. Or like, y'all are taking something to eat in that car on your way home. And just hug your neck and come back and see me. And
I forgot about that too, because Lee come out with like 2 bags of snacks. And he's like, y'all, I forgot to let y'all know about these and everything. And his mama
got on to him. She's tearing them boxes open. Y'all get some, take it with you, put it in your bag. I'm like, no, Miss Dorothy, we're okay for real.
I was which everybody knows pretty well, you've been here with us, that I dip snuff. All right. So, but I'm not a trashy snuff dipper.
And he's very clean about it.
I like to try, if I'm going to get a pinch of snuff, I'll go outside or go close to a garbage can or something. That way I'm not dropping any grains on the floor or something like, even in my own home, I do these things.
Mhm.
And, I have went over by their garbage can to get me a pinch of snuff. And so I wouldn't drop grain all on the floor anywhere. And Lee's mama come over there to me. She whispered to me, she says, "Baby, you can have any snacks you want to over there. You just help yourself." And I was like, "Yes, ma'am. Thank you." Absolutely.
Mr. Russell, that's not our normal Southern hospitality. He said, "Southern hospitality. I came down to Alabama and it was a blizzard."
That was just a freak accident down here or something.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Joey
said-
said Miss Lisa fell in love with Miss Dorothy too.
that
I told Tim on the way home though, like, you get Miss Leona and Miss Dorothy and a pot of coffee and just let me sit back and just listen to just be a fly on the wall and listen to the stories.
I imagine there'd be some good conversation that come out. Probably some good laughs too, because we had some good laughs as well over there.
Russell Amon said, "Mr. Russell, they rolled the white carpet out for you.
Literally.
No red carpet."
I will say, if it makes you feel any better, we broke a 130-year-old record.
Snowball.
If that's any help,
That's not normal, Mr. Russell.
yeah.
I promise.
I guess once again, if the Lord wills and y'all come down next year, I can just about guarantee y'all won't have to worry about the snow
Mm.
being in these neck of the woods for sure.
Even
Especially
though
that
I'm
fall.
gonna pray earnestly for snow again. I had a blast and we still hadn't uploaded our snow video.
I keep forgetting that.
I had some really good footage in that video. That's why he didn't upload.
We just forget. I'm forgetting about them. I got it all put together. I just gotta get it uploaded.
Um, I think Lee had to dip out. He's working on night shift now. He put in the chat earlier, I think it was before you came in, that he had to go make a lift, and I hadn't seen him come back. So I don't feel like he's ignoring you. He doesn't respond.
People imagine he's listening. People snatching on levers here and there or something. Well, I think, oh, you worked with him at a couple of them plants or something, ain't you?
Oh yeah, that's what was going with that whole thing, talking about how much I love Lee's mom. But it was kind of like when we were getting ready to go live, like Lee and Joey and Tim were kind of in Lee's studio, and the women were kind of standing at the door. But me and Miss Dorothy were talking about that, like how cool it would be to just be able to load the truck, grab Jasper, and just hit the road and like make a road trip around the country and just see all these beekeepers we've gotten to be friends with.
Now, we did think about taking him to Lee's over there.
Yeah, I was thinking up until the morning we left, we were taking him. And somebody busted my bubble. We ain't taking that dog on a road trip.
No. Yeah, y'all, there's a lot y'all don't see about Jasper.
Oh, there's a lot y'all can say about that. I know, Ricky. I fell in love with Nico too.
Oh, he'd probably have a blast with that dog.
Oh, he would.
Especially that swing.
The trampoline swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to have one the size of a real trampoline for Jasper.
Yeah, Hannah was like, "Well, what, you want to put a blanket on the back seat back there so Jasper don't get a whole bunch of hair and stuff all over the ride and this and that?" And I was like, we're not taking Jasper.
Yeah, no problem busting my bubble.
So maybe when he calms down a little bit,
When he grows out of his puppy stage.
yeah.
If he ever does. I know, Brian. I told Miss Kathy she's got my number and I saved hers. So we're gonna talk directly next time we go to head over there.
Well, we're gonna reach out to Mr. Ed in the upcoming weeks and try to see if we can mosey over there before beekeeping season gets too crazy and visit with Mr. Ed and anybody else over there that, wants, I imagine Mr. Ed, I can't say for sure, but imagine Mr. Ed be okay with people visiting as well. But
Maybe
Uh,
his honey season.
yeah, try to catch it in that in between to where he's not slammed with so much going on with the bees and on top of whatever else he does behind the scenes at the Abbey there.
Mhm.
But yes, ma'am, Lord willing, when we make that trip out there, we can all get together on that because
Yeah.
I know he's in bed right now, getting his siesta. But I was thinking to myself the other day about that, and I was like, well, he acquired the salsa by accident. So I was thinking to myself, well, I'll just acquire me some of Mr. Ed's honey over there.
You will not.
And we'll just do a trade, Mr. Ed. How about that? But yes, Lord willing, that'll be another trip in the next couple of weeks, getting over there and visiting with them. And
I hope so.
we've
I
got,
want to go for it. It's hot.
well, Mr. Mike Berry invited us over too whenever we was coming back from Leeds.
Brian and Miss Kathy are going to defiantly meet us at the.
Y'all do it.
I think you meant definitely.
Either or sounds good.
Spell check on the cell phone.
It works either way.
Mhm.
Stand at the gate with the pitchfork.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I might pick that phone.
But yeah, Mr. Mike Berry told us to stop by because he gave us an idea about where he was. Then Joey and Miss Lisa left out there, and I ain't no more thought about it. We asked Joey about it. We was talking about it before they left, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll tell you where Mike lives and this and that." It's like, all right. Then we dipped off in other conversation. They left, and we probably got 10 miles down the road. And I told Hannah, I said, I didn't ask Joey like the full directions to get to Mike's. And about that time, we was moseying on home, and I just said,
It was late, and we were trying to beat the weather.
"Oh yeah, we was racing the storm that day." About that, bad weather. But Laura willing, we can get together and meet him over there, and Mr. Ed.
Yeah. I think
But-
Rosalina wants in on it too.
Hey.
He said, let me know.
We sure do it. Yes, sir.
This is gonna get so big. We might just have to have everybody meet up at my grandma's place and cook something.
We can do that. Fields are pretty right now. Yeah, all the crimson clover is blooming. The old pasture up there, pasture,
Sure.
pasture. Let me get myself connected right here.
Good, all right.
The field is looking good. We was up there yesterday, and the clover's starting to bloom up there a little bit. But with our meandering back and forth to Gulf Shores, I'm gonna tell you what, down along close to the beaches down there, that crimson clover's everywhere, the white clover's everywhere. Maples, yes, they are blooming like crazy. Seeing huckleberry bloom here. The blueberries are starting to. The peach trees are definitely doing it. And we went out to eat last night at one of the local catfish house. And one of the brothers and sisters from church has a dark colored vehicle. And they keep this baby clean now. Don't worry about it not being dirty. This baby is clean. And we're standing beside their ride, and I just happened to look down on that dark blue color. And it's just, you can see a light dusting, a pollen on that old car. So we gradually kept getting that incline on. Things are fixing to crank up. It's fixing to crank up fast.
Does that is what grandma?
No, they was trying to. So it probably about another month, the azaleas will be in full bloom down here, which is pretty. What else? There's something else I seen that was blooming. Henbit all over the place. Anyway, y'all get, yeah, dandelions. Y'all get where I'm going. things is blue. But that's where we at right now. Well,
Yeah.
I got through my pictures, got through the swarm lure, Sarah. We haven't got into just derailing yet, so I'll save some of these topics, if you will, because we got a word of the week, and that's from Mr. Ollie Man. And there's a story. And there's a bit of a tall tale. Yeah. Just small tall tale.
Okay, that's the new understatement for 2025. Oh my word. Look who just dropped off in this chat.
Who?
If it ain't Blaine himself.
That Texican? Blaine?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Hadn't seen him in forever, man.
There's that guy.
I hope you're doing good.
Oh, he's been doing good. I'll guarantee. I know what that man's been doing.
He been drinking Dr. Pepper.
And
That's what he been doing.
he's been drinking his Dr. Pepper and out there with them talking bees.
Yep.
That's
I
it.
know. It's been way too long since we seen you play. JW is the only thing blooming in his neck. Y'all don't make me laugh that hard tonight.
What is that Sarah says? Mr. JW, you walk on your sunshine.
That's it.
Yeah.
Whatever kind of sunshine you want it to be.
Yeah, good seeing you, Blaine.
Just bought a bunch of 12 packs on sale.
We talked about that the week you was on, wasn't it?
Right.
About Blaine going in. We was telling the story of him and his wife, and Blaine going in and buying the buggy full of Dr. Pepper, and he was good to go. I don't know if we were talking about him live or what, but we were talking about it not too long ago. Somebody may have been.
Yeah, because Joey was talking about that.
Yep. Let me hit the link. Any of y'all want to come in? We'll chit chat. If not, we'll derail. One of the two.
I hadn't heard somebody besides me use the term blooming idiot in a while. That used to be one of the first things fly out of my mama's mouth when she gets fussy with you. You just acting like a blooming idiot all the time. Like, really? But you never hear that.
A lot of them old sayings are going away. Don't hear much of any of them anymore. And some of them you can't say anymore. Some, yeah, just you just sensitivities nowadays.
Yeah.
But without me getting on that,
I'm going to tell Ollie's story.
well, we can't.
Anyway, derail.
We'll derail. We'll make our completely derail thing because we can get into food and derail.
I think they already voted. Next cookie.
What they want? Cookies?
Pound cake.
Pound cake. I figured y'all be after them chocolate chip cookies before you be after that pound cake. Both of them are good. That cookie recipe, she said 100-something cookies. She'll have them things done in an hour. So the way that recipe she makes up.
2 hours. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's only a 2-batch recipe to make that many. It's, I'm one of 6 kids. Like, my mom didn't have normal size recipe. So one batch of that cookie dough literally make like 80, 85 cookies. So, and they wouldn't last 3 days around our house growing up either.
And they're good too. Good little homemade cookies.
I'll show y'all.
Yep.
We'll do a video. Get warm.
I am, finally. It's taking me all day to get warm.
Well, we fell asleep with the windows open last night. Because it was so warm yesterday. It felt good.
And I dozed off in my chair. And I imagine she probably tried to wake me up to tell me she's going to bed,
Mm-hmm.
but I just do not recall. But I woke up about 2 this morning. All the lights still on in here, and I'm thinking, oh, good grief.
Because he opened his eyes and looked at me and said, "Okay, I'll be there in just a minute." Okay.
Back up. But it got quite chilly last night. And like I said, the windows were open. And I'm going to tell you what, I woke up and I froze, and I put me another blanket on top of that blanket, and I still froze. And within literally the last few minutes, I have finally gotten that daggum chill out of me. Mr. Donnie come by for a little while, and he says, "Bo, you look like you freezing to death."
Mm-hmm.
So I just can't shake it today, Mr. Donnie. Yes, we're happy. We're encouraged about the upcoming season, the plans that are ahead. We'll just see how well the plans go. But talking to a couple folks at church today, they already trying to hit us up for honey.
Yeah.
And Brother Johnny, one of the main preachers, he keeps bees, or he kept bees for a long time. He was where he at Southeast Arkansas. He always said where he lives, but he done like Philip was talking about doing. And I know some others are already doing this, but Brother Johnny had him a trailer, and I think he said he had 20 colonies on that one trailer, 10 on each side. And he said, "Son, that's how we just did our beekeeping back then." He said, "We just moved them to one spot, let them sit out there for a while, move them on around, so on and so forth." And that's how we did our beekeeping. But a couple of people coming up and asking us about honey already this year. Brother Johnny said, do they not know it's not time for honey yet? I said, "No, sir, Brother Johnny." I said, "I guess folks just think that you can get it all year long from the bees kind of thing, and which is understandable if you never kept bees before." But then he kind of went on about doing his beekeeping, but doing all of it off that trailer there for 15 dozen years. And undoubtedly, the way he talks, it worked very well for him. Having that trailer, I think he said he had I think it was a 20-foot trailer. They did everything off of.
Oh.
And, but yeah, we chit chatted about that for a good little while. And, we'll see about these swarms, like Bill Lee was saying earlier. If he's up there in Georgia and he's already seeing a swarm, I don't imagine it's going to be too terribly long around him.
I missed Joey's comment a few minutes ago when we were talking about going back to Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Y'all can stay in a camper trailer and come back over here."
No. See, Joe's studio.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see Joey's pony house set up.
I don't imagine it'd be a problem, him showing that bad boy on.
Mm-hmm.
Lord willing, we can get ourselves worked on one maybe in the next couple of years. We'll see how it goes. But, yeah, that's where we at on things, yeah. Just kind of about like much like everybody else, except for y'all got bees right now. But we just kind of in that idle of make sure they don't starve to death between here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But yet try to keep an eye on them so they don't go to swarming on us and losing the strengths because of your swarm going on. But yeah, just waiting on this.
Okay, Mr.
Hello?
Todd, you better change that attitude before you even come up in here.
And I do ants.
Uh-huh.
What was I gonna say? Something
I don't
that
know,
is.
but I'm glad you forgot it because I am not talking about pests tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Go back to cooking. It's my first time back in what,
2
2
weeks.
weeks? But no, I don't want to talk pests tonight.
No pest. It was fire ant. That's what it was, fire ant. But
Out here?
no, we was telling somebody about putting fire ants around the colonies a while back and keeping the sugar ants out. But California, you're not allowed to have fire ants.
Todd said I need to make that a button. Hi, I'm Todd and I do ants.
That'd be a good shirt for his line there.
Yeah. Well,
But what was encouraging on some of that, so I guess some wasn't thinking I was so crazy that night, was Bruce Jenny mentioned it just a touch on Ricky and them's live the other night. That some old time beekeepers was telling him, Bruce, that having the fire ants around the colonies was a potential benefit.
mhm.
And it just kind of brought together what we was told by your friends, Daddy, that's a beekeeper down here.
It was him that told us that.
Because they was said they would literally take fire ants and intentionally put by their colonies.
Because the fire ants don't care nothing about the honey. They're not going to try to get in there. Only thing you got to worry about is planting your feet in them while you're working your colony. Good gravy. I want to talk about mad. Let me get my feet full of fire ants in that 3-layer piece.
They jumping on
the Irish girl come undone. No.
But we'll send you some out there. Don't tell California, but we'll send you some out there.
Yeah.
So what else? What else?
Oh, good deal, DC. Thank you, Lord. He said his mom just got home. Stepdad is back in an ICU room recovering. They did what they needed to, and he's improving.
That's good. Yes, sir. Lord, well, he'll be home soon. And
Todd said I'll send that packet back. Blaine offers very fair pricing to sell fire ants to anybody want them.
oh, he's got them Texas fire ants, so those are probably better than what we got.
Well, Laramore's back and ready to continue with the show. Got his belly loaded, his coffee cup full, his spectacles on, and in his chair.
The man is ready.
He is set for the evening.
Watch out, he's a dangerous man right now.
DC, I'm really glad to hear that. I'm glad you let us know while we were sitting in here.
Yes.
Good.
But
while Laramore's talking about a full coffee cup, mine's empty.
We'll go get
I'll be right back.
I'll carry on about something here.
I figured you would.
But we don't mean to, I guess, rub it in as far as these fine, beautiful temperatures we're having down here right now. I know who was some of y'all saying who was saying it was going Larimore was gonna be in the 20s.
Yeah, he said
then,
he said it was
I think Darren a minute ago or earlier saying something along the lines that either they still got snow or the snow is starting to melt up there. Mr. Roy says, I need a calm night. He said, I spent the afternoon with my 3 granddaughters. Yeah.
That'll wear anybody.
Oh, Brian, Miss Kathy, I imagine so, because we'll kind of go back whenever we went over there to Lee's the other week, and we was talking, just heading over there, and this has been 2 weeks ago, so I can only imagine what it's looking like now. But the maple that was blooming over there, that was just what you could see real good blooming at the moment. There ain't no telling what else was kind of starting to get out and about. But now I can really imagine y'all's bees are showing up getting with it. What's that, Carl? To Tim, house 7 tonight. I guess Carl said, did we make it on time? Uh, Paul said, I don't mean to brag, but we'll be at 76 tomorrow. Ooh, Carl, no degrees. Mm-mm. Now, I ain't gonna tell no tales. When we start getting this warm weather in like this, and we get a cool front or any kind of cold front, it just kind of like it's that depressing moment again of we were so close, and when I thought this was over with, but here we go again. But I ain't gonna lie, I've been enjoying these warm temperatures, especially the low humidity and the warmer temps. Something most definitely you had better enjoy around here, because once it goes to getting, I don't know, about April, that humidity's cranking on up, and it starts putting you in that mood of, yep, it's blistering hot around here. Yeah, looks like most everybody down here below the Mason-Dixon looking like going to be in pretty comfortable temperature for the most part. Uh, I guess with this next line coming in, y'all gonna take and gonna have maybe one more round of snow up there. What? Maybe in Illinois, Indiana way, from what I was gathering. So, no, for sure, y'all ain't done with any kind of cold temps. But uh, Lord willing, we'll be spared from a hard freeze or anything like that until, uh, yeah, next year. We
don't need no more setback.
Well, no, because what year before last? Or was it year before last now? When we had that 16-degree that come through and knocked out the popcorn tree or tallow, and it sure enough set the whole everything back.
I'm talking about 74 degrees.
Yeah, we don't have any. About what we was at today. About 72, 74, I guess, today.
It felt so cool.
And that wind, that breeze come in on that last little front and just kind of stayed here. But I let you see Carl's comment there about 0 degrees.
No,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
trying to get caught up. 7 tonight.
Okay, that's what he was telling me. 7 tonight. I'm sorry, Carl. I was thinking about.
7 no degree.
I'm talking about time. That's where I had got my I zigged when I should have zagged, I guess. Do a split screen with Jack.
Yeah. It's looking like I'm gonna have to buy me a chair if I want my own.
People.
Oh, you right, Joey. He said it won't be very long till we're all complaining about the heat down here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we just now March, so yeah, probably about 5 more weeks, and it'll be. Man, it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't
It'll
gonna
be
do nothing.
summer in 5 weeks down here.
Yeah. It ain't gonna do nothing but get hotter from here on out. And you count for dog days, and you know it's not gonna happen, but on the calendar when it says dog days are over, it's like, are we gonna get a cold front or any kind of cool front in here to knock this stuff out?
Oh my
No.
word. Mr. Roy talking about he's still got over 1.5 feet of snow on the ground in Michigan.
Oh yeah.
And it's we've been rolling with the windows up in the house around here.
Well, I mean, yeah, y'all don't pick on me too bad then for freezing all day for 58 degrees, I guess. But it was a cold 50.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll know whenever, I guess, the maples go to blooming up there in the North Country.
Larimore said, I'm very pleased with the response from the complaint department. They worked diligently to fix the problem. You see, he has worn himself out. He's been so hard at work on that, Larimore.
You have to. But
Right.
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot about that. Yes, Jasper got his complaint out in a timely manner. He don't want to work weekends, so if y'all expect a response Saturday or Sunday, it'll be the next. How do they call it?
Next business day.
Yeah, the next business day during the week that he'll get back to you, and he will send you something back with puppy paw prints on it to confirm it's him.
You gonna get him an ink stamp?
Well, I found some on them the emoji things or whatever it is. And I found something to stick on there to respond back to Laramore's complaint about us not being live last Sunday and
I apologize, Larimore.
His rant about that and him venting his frustrations on that end of things. So yes, Jasper he's Johnny on the spot with them complaints. And I guess before Danae asked if they're still in here, no ma'am, I didn't get his snacks the other day. I went and did my Walmart trip. That was an in and out. She told me, don't be clowning around. Let's go in here, get what we got to get. Leave the cameras alone. Leave the security alone. Don't touch no boxes. Let's go. So I had to follow orders that morning. And I plumb forgot to grab him some snacks for the break room. But maybe we get fancy. If they'll ever get that internet up here, that high-speed fiber optic, double XL, super speed.
Larimore said, it's okay if Jasper doesn't take complaints on Saturday and Sunday. My wife complains to me on them days.
Yeah, so he's good to go on that.
So when sending complaints, we got to speak in Jasper-nese.
Well, he wrote it back to Keith kind of along those lines because with thank you, it was T-HANK, like thank you. And he spelled dear, DEER, Mr. Larimore, and some other stuff.
All by himself, he did this.
Well, Hooked on Phonics worked for him, so.
I heard that is. That's hilarious. He's just worked his poor little paws to the bone. If y'all can see him right now.
Oh yeah,
it's pitiful.
He's been typing so much his little claws, we don't even have to clip them things anymore. He tick 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 to wear them on down now.
Oh no, Shane. He said, I just got that so-called fiber optics. I'd like my copper back.
Well,
No good.
no. So it ain't gonna be worth the money, I don't reckon. Because I mean, they proud of that junk. I know that.
Mhm.
What, $200 a month for some kind of this and that? I don't know.
Yeah. Paul's coming. Look, don't fall.
That's it. Yes, sir. It worked for me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
Mm, mm, mm.
I don't know how our fiber optic is. I mean, we
We
we don't have it, so we don't
it
know.
doesn't run out here.
But the biggest thing is hearing people complain about how much, I guess, the cable bill is, or whatever. However, you got to get it. That being astronomical. But probably next, say, 20 to 25 years, they'll have it that 5 miles up here. So
Mhm.
the state of Alabama is well known for, being quick and responsive on things and making sure.
Well, Steve is saying we use a Verizon home wireless hub, $25 a month, and good enough for 3 teenagers and a wife to stream their little hearts out. We might have to look into that
Email you
because
info.
our cell phone service is through Verizon.
Don't send it to the complaints department because I won't get it. But send it just to regular GunlineBees with the heading fiber optic. But
Did
then
you
I'll
make a whole separate email for Jasper's complaint department?
no, I just put
Okay.
ask
I
the
was really
folks.
gonna be worried about you.
Which that is a good idea. Jasper having his own department, so he can leave my email alone. But anyway,
You can barely manage one email account. You think you can juggle two?
what I got you for?
Yeah.
Just say, look, give me where I
I
need to
I
be.
like that, Brian. Tell it to the Paul.
Yeah.
What was that stupid little thing we used to say? I only said it about 3 times, and my mom smacked the
Talk
crap
to
out
the
of me because
hand.
the face ain't whole.
Yeah. Something along those
That
lines.
was it. Leave the message at the tone.
Well, we're digging back deep in the 1900s.
Way back. The complaint department never would require any maintenance. Oh my
You'd be
word.
surprised with the head of that complaint department, as much maintenance that does.
Jasper likes to chase the mouse, not roll it around.
Well, he's about to go back to prison while we're gone.
He chewed up the chair.
Yep. Come home and he's just having a heyday with his chair. We show y'all that he sits in over there.
Mm-hmm.
But last few times we've come home and Hannah keeps a blanket over it. You can lay on the blanket. This is your chair. You're good. Well, he kicks it down, wallers it up, and kicks it in the floor. This is every day. I mean, literally every day. We'll film it to show y'all. But he'll pull them down, kick them around, then just kick the blankets in the floor, lay in his chair. Well, we leave for work and come home the last few days and got to noticing a little hole on the side of the chair. Well, the next day we come back.
First, I got to noticing like pieces of thread in the floor. The next day, it's hunks of foam he tore out of the cushion of that chair. You little brat child.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad he quit chewing on my chair because he done about pulled all the stuffing out of my foot part on the chair. I guess for me locking him up, whatever the case may be. But
He got mad at you.
he what do I call him? I call him having triggers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the dog gets triggered a lot, and it's over nothing. You're like, Jeff, you just
Oh
calm
my
down.
gosh, Todd. I hate to hear that. Todd lost 84%. He went from 74 colonies down to 12. That sucks.
Yeah, seeing a lot of whispers of folks having some high losses for whatever the uh,
I mean, tons
issue
of
is.
people have just had a brutal loss this year.
Yeah, hopefully they can remedy that and potentially figure out what the actual problem is instead of it being such a guessing game and back and forth. But uh,
Laramore
I don't know.
Queen suits?
Yeah, he was doing some last week, I think, getting some ready.
Well, he said, I wish some of y'all were closer to me. Henry Brooks is my commercial guy. He's going to have an extra 800 sales this week for $5.
Well, let me.
That is incredible.
Where's he at in here?
Well, at least that's one silver lining, Todd. He's got lots of drone comb to get back going.
Well, Larimore, if you don't mind, and if there's anybody interested, can you put an email in the chat for anybody that may be interested and can reach out to you there? Especially folks on this side of the country trying to get caught up.
Blaine's talking about a commercial beekeeper that lost from 15,000 hives down to 1,500. And Todd said there's one near him who went from 3,000 down to 300 hives. DC said his friend Harris lost from 160 down to 68. Yo, this is horrible.
I have my reservations of what could be happening, or my theory, just like everybody else kind of thing, because it's talk and nobody, like I said, there's nothing stamped that says, okay, this is it. So once again, it's everybody trying to put things together, but perhaps maybe next week or two, I'll kind of let on to what I have in mind of what it could be. But it's just kind of crazy that all of a sudden, this is a sudden thing. This ain't just, one season. Oh, I went from X amount to this amount. Then this
like
year,
losing 10 colonies a
yeah, no, this is just, I don't know, little suspect, heartbreaking and suspect. I'll leave it at that. For numbers to be going down that doggone fast and that quick. But that is a devastating loss, especially for anybody really, because we all, whether I'll just put it like this, whether you got one or 1,000 colonies, for some reason you enjoy this beekeeping thing, and whether it's just to get away, clear your mind, mom and pop beekeeper, you like to keep a little honey around for folks and this and that, or if you're on up into you got your commercial folks, that's their livelihood. So absolutely, that's completely devastating because that's what pays the bills. Yeah. It ain't no different than a farmer not getting a crop that year. But hopefully with the science and technologies that we have nowadays, they can diagnose what the problem is. Because this is how I look at it in a little piece. If we can track down mad cow disease back in 1997, whenever it was, all the way from that cow being put into a market and rewinding all the way back to where old Nellie the cow was in that field, I don't know why they can't test and go, oh, okay, this is what's causing it. I could be wrong.
I was like, wait a minute, Larry. I was like almost done reading that comment and it made sense and then it disappeared. This is a safe place. We can say them kind of things, okay? He deleted it and then put back, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
We'll make it. But all in all, it's a bummer for anybody that's losing colonies for an unknown reason.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because if it said what I think it said, then it's probably some of what he and I have already talked about.
a couple things, it just, like I say, everybody's got an idea of what it could be, but hopefully they can figure it out before things get completely, well, I guess it's too late to say out of control. Because it's on a downward spiral, that's for sure. It ain't long before, the impact of the ground occurs, and it's going to be like everything else. Your honey prices are going to skyrocket. Your beekeeping supplies are going to skyrocket because it's like anything else. Yeah.
Or a domino effect, I guess.
Like with the chickens. That guy, I've talked to y'all about that. This ain't nothing beekeeping related, but Acorn Stash. All right, that's the guy that puts the memes on, for folks our age and all. Yeah.
Not long ago, we're talking about his channel.
But in his last video I was watching earlier, he was saying eggs are $9 a dozen up there, and he is in Missouri, I think.
You said $9 a dozen?
$9 a dozen for eggs.
Yeah.
That's how much they are here?
I about had a heart attack in the grocery store yesterday. Because I went in there and a dozen eggs was $8.69 plus 10% plus sales tax.
Yeah, so that's 18% by the time you get done with taxes.
And that was the store brand eggs. But on the shelf right beside them is another brand that was an 18 pack of eggs for $6.99. Yeah, my chickens are going to end up in a pot if they think they want to raise for something, because they do nothing but cost me money now, as it is.
Hey, them chickens better be putting some eggs out this year, is all I
They better be pooping some golden eggs out this year, is all I can say. I know there's a few people that are getting like $5 a dozen for yard eggs. And told him, I was like, when we first got chickens, people look at you like you a two-eyed or two-headed monster for charging $2 a dozen. And we were selling them for like $1.50 a dozen in the beginning.
And they still fussed about it.
Yes.
$1.50 a dozen eggs.
But now you go to the store to buy them, they're $9 and $10 a dozen. I'm like, y'all have lost your ever loving mind.
Yeah. If y'all would protest the stores like you was protesting us back a few years ago, perhaps maybe. I don't know. But hey, that's just where we're at. We all in the same boat. And it's rocking.
Mm-hmm.
And taking on water fast.
How do I wash my eggs? I just have a little soft sponge thing and just put them underwater.
Yeah, like a
Oh, I know.
little yellow
these things.
sponge.
And so I'm starting to bake my own bread like crazy again.
Which a lot of times, like if it's for us, if that egg ain't, I mean, anybody that keeps chickens and all that, as soon as that chicken lays that egg, the quicker you can get out there and pull that thing, the cleaner it's going to be.
That's it. Like a lot of times, we'll try to pull them before they get dirty. Like try to go out every day and get them fairly clean, and then I won't wash them if we have a bunch already. He said I asked because I'm from California.
Yeah. Who's that, Todd?
I won't hold it against you. Okay? I thought you just like the eggplant honey thing kind of deal.
Whatever eggs we sell,
Mm.
yeah, we'll wash them immediately. We'll dry them, pat them dry, then immediately put them in the refrigerator.
You're
after we
right.
wash
And see, that's why I don't ever wash them as soon as we bring them in. Because if you do wash them, then it's like the clock starts, and you got to keep them refrigerated.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you showed up tonight, Blaine.
Yes, sir.
Y'all
Like I
take
said,
care.
well, we'll see you in the next chats. You get a chance. We know you've been busy out there too.
Mm.
Yeah. People lost their mind. I'm going crazy.
Yeah, we're really not far off DC.
And pullets. Like going to look at the feed store. All right, if you want some pullets, they're about $7 a piece now for a little bitty old pullet. And that's a female
Shoot, we
chicken. Anybody wondering?
were months ago, and hens they were what, like 9, 10 months old. They were just starting to lay good.
Yep.
They were like $32 a pop for them hens.
Hmm.
Oh, y'all. I used to, I mean, just about turn around and walk off if somebody wanted more than $2 for a bitty. Now, y'all talking about $35 for a 9-month-old hen?
Mm-hmm.
You have lost it. I'll breed my own. Oh, yeah. Philip said, all right, I made it home. Thanks for entertaining me.
You're welcome, sir.
That's what we're here for, Philip. It's the Sunday night crash, so.
Oh, we had 8:30. Lord, time is fine. I didn't realize that.
Joey. I don't know what. I saw on the news the other day they got to rent a chicken. How do you rent a chicken? Well, you glue the feathers back on and give it back after you eat? What is that? I've never in my life heard of rent a chicken.
You rent your chickens out for pest control. I don't know. But I like that idea, and I'd love to sell that to a bunch of yuppie people. Tell me, yeah, I got some beautiful chickens out here. And boy, and you talk about fertilize the ground, get the bugs.
A chicken.
Yeah.
They was renting the chicken and the coop. What?
Okay. Was it Mark? 100 hens, almost 50,000.
What he was saying. Let's see where he goes. $9 a dozen, 365 days. One chicken makes $485 a year. So if one chicken will do that, 100 hens will make you almost 50 grand a year. He said they'll have to walk around barefoot to get the full experience.
Yes, sir. Yeah. How do you like that mud between your toes?
Carl said, Tim, you going bird shopping.
Got my lungs worked up. That one.
Rent. I hope that's Joey coming to explain this nonsense.
Welcome to Rent a Chicken.
No,
No.
get his head.
Let me get you in here.
Hey, Todd.
What's happening?
Not much, man. What's going on?
Not much. I haven't been on your guys' show for a long time, so I thought I'd pop in real quick. I was eating dinner. I had to feed the tapeworm.
Feed the tapeworm.
Oh,
I don't know why. I was
Friday
hoping somebody was going to explain that.
but I heard I was watching the news the other day, and there was a guy in Pennsylvania that's selling a little chicken coop with few chickens in there for like he's renting it for like $500. And I don't know if that's a month or what, but it's the whole little chicken coop. It's a mini chicken coop.
I shake my head in disbelief because even though we're the youngest bucks in here pretty much, and even just me coming up as a youngin', I'd have never imagined somebody renting chickens to somebody. Y'all plug your ears for the sensitive people, but I mean, the only thing we was doing with chickens was wringing their neck and putting them in a pot, that kind of thing. But the more you see of my generation that is just lost.
Yeah, if you to the point you gonna pay $500 to rent a chicken?
No, there was like
your
3 or 4
heart,
chickens in there, I'll say. They had 3 or 4 chickens in there. But
Okay.
that's a racket. That's a racket.
Yeah.
So I think you could go on a Tractor Supply on their website and find one of those little mini chicken coops for, I think, $300. So
Jamie just put a link in there. www.rentthechicken.com.
I guess
I gotta look at this.
take a screenshot of that. Todd, I'm gonna text you tomorrow.
What's up?
Rent a chicken.
What's that? What?
I'm gonna text you tomorrow. Our new number, 1-800 Rent a Chicken.
My gosh. Larry Moore said he's going to send in another complaint because you called him old.
Well, I'll just refer to my generation. Well, I did, I guess.
Hey, they do it in Canada too.
That's wow.
Joey said that was just the first website that came up. There's multiple websites to rent chickens.
Yeah, I guess.
Mr. Dan, I mean, I can see renting goats and donkeys to clean underbrush before I could see renting a chicken.
Yes.
Oh, man, they only have one place in California, and that's Los Angeles. So let's see how much that is.
Todd, you can be a millionaire with them clowns out there in that LA.
Yeah.
Good. Great.
What?
They'll be happy to pay $12 a dozen all day long.
Oh,
okay, so excuse me. I don't think I told you. Well, I know I didn't tell you guys. So in the high desert of Southern California by Joshua Tree National Forest or National Park, there's a guy out there in the middle of nowhere that makes canna honey. Do you know what canna honey is?
No.
Cannabis honey. It's honey used with cannabis. So I looked it up. So what you do is you put it in the oven, you warm it up, you chop it all up, and then you put it in a cheesecloth and you suspend it in like a pint of honey. And then you leave it in there. I forgot how long. You take it out. You don't wring it out because I guess you get too much THC in there. But you take it out and then you filter that jar one more time. He sells a 3.75 ounce of canna honey for $180, and he gets it every day.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Which is about $400 a pound, I think, somewhere like that.
Good.
Is this like the eggplant honey, Todd? Or is this really?
No, ma'am. No, this is a little bigger than eggplant honey.
Yeah, I
Oh
don't think he's pulling your leg on
my
this one.
gosh. Do
But
the LA people know how to
so,
cook an egg?
so those people would pay $20 a dozen down there, for a dozen eggs.
Mm,
Uh,
mm.
But yeah, I was shocked when I read that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm more.
I'm about speechless.
I,
$180?
okay,
For
okay.
almost 4 ounces of honey, but I guess really it gets you to the moon and back. I guess I don't know.
It better for that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, the way things are a lot now in the states, that yes, there's a lot of legalization in a whole bunch of states and that kind of stuff. So to a point, I can see where this guy, he found him a little niche to get into and said, hey, ain't nobody putting THC in the honey, so I could probably make a little bit off this, and undoubtedly it's good enough for customers to keep coming back for. And I imagine they got a smile on their face when they pull in the drive. But uh, the whole rent ticket is what's kind of throwing me off more than anything. I believe the THC, but I don't know if it's just us being down here, and it's like anybody around here will pretty well, for the most part, be like, lost your mind if I'm going to rent chickens for $500 for a week or however long it may be.
Yeah.
But I guess there's a market for everything nowadays.
100 and I'm going to do the math. So that's $720 a pound. And if you bought let's just say you bought a 5-gallon bucket. Well, let's just say kind of to make it simple, well, to make it non-accurate, let's just say it's 55 pounds instead of 60. So that for him, if he sold that much, that's almost 40 grand a bucket. Then you could buy a bucket of honey around here for $200. He would make a profit of $39,400 off of one bucket of honey.
That's not a bad profit.
It's a pretty good deal there.
Between the THC honey, I mean, that man, if he gets into selling chicken eggs for $20 a dozen, my God.
That would be easy for him to do. Here, try some of this honey on this toast, and 5 minutes later, you say, here, I got some eggs for you, but they're like $15. Is that okay? And they'll be like, oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, give me 2 of them, man, because I'm pretty hungry.
Brian said, Todd, this is a family show.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh.
DC knows THC decanted into honey.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
If it's one of them, if you can find the people dumb enough to buy it, then
hey, they're everywhere.
Yes,
somebody's getting a sweet high on that.
It's like the X-Files, except times 30 million.
Now here's what you do: you get your honey, you infuse it with the cannabis. Then, like Todd was saying there, whenever you get ready to pull your buds out, that's what you feed to your chickens to get the good eggs.
Can of egg.
Yeah, can of egg.
A can of egg. Now, you might be onto something, Tim. That actually, I wonder how that would work.
How to make a sweet, sweet egg.
Then renting them chickens for $500 doesn't sound that bad. If you do that.
Yeah. What are some of them old sayings about, I'll sell you this? I'll think of
oceanfront.
Yeah, pretty much some stuff along those lines. I got oceanfront property. But I mean, I guess it's no different than looking at some of the stuff you see on these websites of,
oh my gosh, layer more. He said talk about a golden guinea.
Oh, I'm glad that's excellent.
$50 an egg.
So this is something we could potentially make some money at. So are you cool with me getting some more guineas?
No, no, not on any level. Mr. Russell said, I wonder if they give out taste samples.
Yeah, that's the guy you want to see at market.
Yeah. No, you go up to the guy and you say, "Hey, you have any off menu honeys?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's your $20 stuff at?
Yeah. $200. Where your $200 stuff at?
Yes. Well,
Y'all are going like way. Phillips calling his chicken dealer, and DC's talking about THC honey pickled garlic.
Oh, jeez.
What?
Man, I should have not jumped on here.
oh, you good, bro? Because we was at derail
You
time
would
anyway.
totally derail this.
we in the ditch now.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about one of those you can't park there kind of thing.
No.
Oh, my word.
So
But
what
we-
else is going on besides $500 chickens and $200 full of honey?
We still kind of lost, Todd. We don't know what to tell you on that.
I'm just dumbfounded over people paying money to rent chickens.
We're gonna look at that. I got chickens out there for rent all day long.
There ain't nobody around here dumb enough to pay money to rent. Sorry, I don't mean that offensive, but just, I mean, seriously, so I would duck, honestly, like legitimately, I would say what I had to say and duck if I was giving people a price to rent my chickens down here.
I'll make a Facebook post on our Facebook and I'll ask our people down here to look. Tim's got a wild idea of chicken renting.
Steve said I underestimate the stupidity. I probably do, honestly, but like that just kind of kills my faith in humanity. That people would actually pay real money to rent a chicken.
But,
Yeah.
we're doing good, Todd. Just trying to make that honest dollar right now.
Yes, Larimore.
Yeah.
That's the ones that buy the blinker fluid.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the ones that buy the blinker fluid by the gallon.
Sell it for, I could sell them saltwater beaver pelt.
Yeah. Y'all ever heard of the saltwater beaver that live in the Gulf of America down here in Alabama?
I had it the other day at work.
He did not have me go.
Oh, I had her.
No,
She was
did
questioning me there. Okay, this and that. But
not. Everybody has heard of the chicken rentals, but me. Even DC knew about renting chickens.
because nobody's doing it down here, I guess.
Them's neutral.
Is that like a
Saltwater
that's-
beaver is neutral.
Alabama's version of the Loch Ness Monster?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I just got your comment there, Steve. Yes, sir. So, well, sort of, kind of. I was telling her we was taking a break and we're working on a condo. And just to kind of give y'all a visual a little bit, whenever you walk out the sliding glass door, if you look to your right, there's the new Gulf of America. Okay. If you look to your left, there's a lagoon called Little Lagoon. So both sides direction, you got brackish water, salt water out there. So I was just carrying on with her one day or that morning. I told her, so look, I said, I got to reading something about them saltwater beavers. There used to be a whole bunch before the fur trade, but when the fur trade got around, then they pretty well killed off all the saltwater beaver, and you just have freshwater beaver now, like you see everywhere else. And went on a little bit more about it, and I said it was really neat from what I was reading on it, because you know how a beaver will build a hut out of sticks, and that's their little house. I said, but the saltwater beaver go out there and collect shells, and he'd stack them little shells on top of each other till he got his little hut.
You really think I was still believing this?
Still
At
believe-
this point? No.
And I said, but they build them things underwater, and they break wind to create an air pocket under there, and that's how the little baby beavers survive until they get up and living. But I mean, part of what I've heard tonight, once again, I know we're beating a dead horse on the chicken thing now, but
Also, the nature nuggets are good.
the saltwater beaver don't sound so far-fetched.
The BS meter was tagged. Yeah, I'm with you, DC.
What are
My
bucky
little
balls?
brain just won't grasp it.
What in the world are bucky balls?
I don't know.
Is that from Buc-ee's?
The little donut hole things.
No, I'm pretty sure that's some kind of meatball thing.
We don't have Buc-ee's here. I've never been to
the Buc-ee's mascot is this really
Big Beaver.
strange looking thing
Yeah.
that's supposed to be a beaver.
I've seen it.
Oh, we got our first one down here. I guess they opened that thing up a year or two ago.
Steve, have you actually ate them?
But,
He said the Buc-ee's beaver nuggets rock.
oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Because I'm not gonna lie, when I seen the sign for beaver nuggets, I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on that."
Well, because yeah, when we're going over there in the morning, there's a big billboard sign for Buc-ee's, and it's like Buc-ee's 8 miles down the road. Then it, gets you. What is it?
Is that like the Walmart at truck stops?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
I said that other word. I just thought of that. But
We,
since we're going all over the place here, might as well add that.
Yes, come on with it.
Go for it. Somebody else is not.
Done. No.
Steve?
Ooh, pulled pork sandwiches. Now that sounds pretty good.
We didn't.
Uh-oh. I think Steve's got a bad connection.
There you go.
There it is.
He is wearing a Bucky shirt. No way.
There we go. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That'd work. Well, we don't have those in California. We got Loves and JD's or something like that.
We have Loves down here too.
Is there any Stuckies left anymore?
Never heard of them.
Stuckies was kind of like Loves, I guess, a pretty big truck stop, but oftentimes they had a Dairy Queen in them.
Oh.
But we went into the Buc-ee's for the first time about a month ago when we started working down there, and I'm gonna tell you what, I'm not much of a crowd individual to begin with, but my heavens at the people running in and out of that place. They're just folks scurrying to and fro. And I was telling her, well, we pretty much both saying on the way out was like, this is just way too busy for me.
I was over.
Flying J, that's it. Flying J. Yeah, Flying J and Loves. That's what we have around here. But we also you guys don't have In-N-Out Burger.
No.
In-N-Out, no.
Oh man.
No, we got Bartil's.
Yeah, that's a little mom and pop place, but they about the ones that still all American beef patty.
You say burnt heels?
Fertiles. It's like
Oh,
Berpile, I think is how you spell it. Yes.
okay.
Steve, are you muted?
No, can't hear you.
Uh-uh.
DC, you'll like that. They have off mini burgers.
Oh,
Well, hopefully, if there's any place you can get the bugs working out, this is the show to do it on.
for real.
Yes. Just watch for that red button. Boom.
Philip knows Stuckies. He said they had the big red roof and those name license tags you could put on your bicycle.
Absolutely. That's the place.
I
Yes.
never got one. They never had Hannah on them things.
Oh yeah, there is a Flying J in Fraser Park. I've seen that on the I-5. By there.
Just blame it on Tim, Steve. You can blame buttons for your technical difficulties.
You know what you could do, Steve? Maybe jump out and come back in. Sometimes that changes it.
Oh, I hope that fixes it.
So DC, you could get a burger there at In-N-Out. I haven't done it, but it's you could have it done animal style. They have this sauce, and they call it like animal sauce or whatever. They just drizzle it all over the burger. I mean, you need 2 bibs to where you can eat that thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a mess, but it's good.
It's like most often times, if you have to have a fork with a hamburger, that baby gonna be good.
A lot of them hamburger joints down here, they put like a whole roll of paper towels on the table for napkins.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got you.
Good. I'm not sure which microphone you're hearing me from, but as long as you can hear me.
Oh yeah, it's loud and clear on our end.
So the thing with Buc-ee's is truckers can't go in the Buc-ee's. Your truckers are not allowed in Buc-ee's.
Really?
Specifically.
I
Yep.
thought it was a truck.
I thought it was a truck stop.
No, ma'am. It's just for cars. They have signs going into them, no trucks.
Really?
Well, that
Tourist
explains.
Like 250 gas pumps out there.
Well, that's for the cars. And you got people that run pickup trucks with diesel, so you got to have diesel out there
Yeah.
for just every day running back and forth. But that answers my question, because when we left that morning, we stopped. Y'all, I'm not exaggerating. There was probably 25 signs literally in a row going down the side of the road. And it was saying no big trucks. No, I mean, every sign said no, 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 no. That's what I was telling you that day. Remember going no, 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 no. But they were saying the big trucks aren't allowed, I guess, in there. But I thought you just had to kind of maybe pull off around back or something for a big truck.
I did not know that. Steve.
Hey, we got rain here today. I mean,
Really?
it rained. So Tom and Melissa said, hey, there's a storm behind you. And that's probably what it looked like outside. I actually thought I saw a shelf cloud.
Really?
Yeah. But man, it hailed. The whole street was white outside. And we only get pea hail. We don't get like the big golf ball size hail. But it rained. It really rained. We probably got, well, for us out here, a half inch is a really big, rain shower. So, yeah, I think it was at least a half inch. It might have been more.
That's what I was going to ask. What is like a lot for you out there?
Well, usually a quarter inch is a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I know when I lived in Missouri, you get a quarter inch in 5 minutes, but it's going east. I think that storm that went through, or that front that went through, is going to be causing some severe weather in Missouri, I think on like Tuesday, I heard. So who knows?
Yeah, it dropped down pretty cool this morning here. I don't know how low it got, but it was cold when I got up this morning. I only got up in the low 50s. It'd been in the 60s and 70s. The girls were flying like crazy. They're probably tucked up pretty good today, I would guess.
Yeah, same here. It, it didn't get out of the 50s here either. And it was 80 yesterday, just about 80.
Y'all getting back down to freezing, Steve, or just cold snap?
Yeah, it was down into around freezing or just below this morning. But looking ahead, it may not get below freezing again. I mean, you can always get a cold snap in April or something, but it's looking pretty good. There's going to be cornfield growing in our highs before too long. Because I had 3 or 4 frames at least of football sized brood day before yesterday, maybe 2 days ago. So it's definitely getting to be in that season before too long. Had drone cells drawn and capped, so it won't be long.
Yeah, I busted some up yesterday. They're just starting to build drones now. I didn't see any mites, so knock on wood. But
Steve, you're in North Carolina?
Yes, they're near just west of Charlotte, kind of in the middle of the state.
I was just thinking, that's interesting that just that quick already up north. You know, I guess you said cap drones?
Cap drone cells and 2. I only got in 3 hives, but two of the 3 had cap drone cells in them. I didn't see any drones on the frames or any that looked like that they'd emerged, and I didn't check to see if they're purple eyed or any of that stuff yet. I was just I had a few minutes to get through some and try out my new day dance smoker. But yeah, I was pretty surprised. I was expecting not to have cap drone cells for sure.
Wonder if them girls is telling us it's going to be an early spring, perhaps.
I was looking back last year for us, and it seems like it's about maybe a week late compared to what it was for us, because I found some red maple that was out and all that. So I'm thinking maybe about the same as last year. It's not probably late much at this point. See, Hope just posted on there. Hope's just in South Carolina for me, and he has drones walking around. And I may have. I just, like I said, I saw the caps, and all I was looking to see is there's a live queen in the ones I was going in. Once I saw all the brood, I was happy.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I figured y'all would be.
Keith's got pink eye drones. Are those drones with pink eye or pink eye drones?
Yeah, that stuff spreads pretty good.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for pink eye.
But what's funny is I'm probably an hour away from Spanky, but he's much higher in elevation, and then Ricky's another probably 45 minutes to an hour up from Spanky, but he's 2,000 feet more in elevation, and we'll be 3 or 4 weeks apart sometimes in the way things go, and we're so close to each other.
What's weird is Mother Nature is 2 weeks early this year, because I look back at some of the videos and stuff that I put up or pictures, and Henbit was 2 weeks early this year. but the bees are like a week behind what they were last year, or maybe 2 weeks. It's weird. Usually they kind of even out, but this year there's kind of a big difference. I don't know.
The Hancocks aren't far from Hope either, and they said they've got drones walking around. They're maybe a couple 100 feet in elevation lower than me. I think they're down around Rock Hill, down in that area, so just south of Charlotte. So it's crazy how much difference it can be, just a little bit of elevation.
Mm.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if nothing else, this is a perfect example of taking on the course of taking a few little notes of when things started. Just for this right here, you can go back, like you're saying, Steve, you went back and checked a few notes and kind of went, okay, look, such and such date, drones were showing this and that, to, I guess, give you that idea of, are we around about the same time or early or late?
Yeah, it can change quite a bit. And, like last year, Keith had the best year ever. He's only probably an hour and 45 minutes away from me, or hour and a half away from me, Keith Spillman.
Yes.
And we got wiped out with storms that came through and knocked out all of our tulip poplar. And, elevation wise, he and I are pretty close, but like I said, he's north and didn't get the storms we got. We got some horrendous windstorms the first week in May. Yeah, I think it was May last year. So yeah, it's just been weird weather-wise, but you just never know. It's why it's like fishing's not catching. We're just keeping bees. We're not necessarily making honey.
Yes.
You're in the lowland area up there, right?
Who?
I guess my internet's crapping out.
No. Who is that question for, Steve?
I said, Todd, you're kind of in the valley area, aren't you?
Yeah.
Up there, you're not in the hills.
I'm in the center, basically almost the geographic center of the state, but we're in the valley, so it's nice here. Well, sometimes
It's a
couple months out of the year, then it's 105, 110. It sucks.
It's nice for ants, apparently, at least.
Yeah. Ants love it here. The problem with the ants is the farm I'm on. Excuse me, guys. Hang on. Allergies are already killing me.
we got to get Todd some honey.
So that organic, I have my bees on an organic farm, and what they do is when they pick the fruit, if it's bad, they throw it right on the ground, and that's like this big, gigantic sugar pill for these ants to just go at. And then so they just keep reproducing. When it's hot, they're everywhere. I mean, if you stand in one spot long enough, like sometimes I'll stand in front of a hive and I'll have an ant trail going over my boots. And they're everywhere. And this time of year, they should be non-existent. They should be in the ground, just chilling out and waiting for it to warm up. But the soil got warm enough for them to start waking up and going out and about. Now I got an ant problem, and I didn't mow yesterday, so I'll mow next weekend. But I was out there just weeding with my hands around the pallets, just so the weeds don't create ant ladders. They bypass those ant traps I have. But yeah, it's just a mess out there.
One of California's most profitable crops is ants.
Yeah.
I'm learning all kind of new stuff tonight.
Yeah, it's tough around here. But we don't have fire ants though. They say honey helps
I bet
out.
the market for renting chickens is better than renting ants.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if anybody wants ants, I can ship them. I'll ship them to you for free. I'll even sell them to you for free. I mean, I won't charge you. If you want some, I got plenty. You know?
Rent ants.
Yeah, I could rent some ants. That's
Oh my word. I'm
if-
still
if you
hung
got-
up on that.
if you got some people that you're renting to in a investment house or something, and you want to get rid of them, I got the solution. You know, I send you some ants, and you can let them go in there and then run them out.
Well, and
Those
the good
ants will
part,
let people out.
they're already here, so you ain't got to worry about the invasive part.
Mm-hmm.
So look, these are domesticated ants. So I'll hook you up with whatever you need.
Yours or mine?
Well, all of ours, really. I guess.
So I guess if they're domestic ants, they're tariff free, I suppose.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Why is California so worried about ants? Who knows? Oh, they're worried about fire ants, not any ant. They don't want fire ants in the state. Which I hope no one from the state is watching, but they're already here.
I didn't think y'all had fire ants out there.
They got fire ants.
I've heard people talk about fire ants here and there.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
But are they housebroken? Oh, me. Leave it to the Louisiana fella to ask that. That's what Paul said, but are they housebroken?
I don't know. From what I've read up on them fire ants, whenever they figured out, well, they come into the port of Mobile originally, from what I've read up on them, and buddy, whenever they made residents, and they spread like wildfire. It did. Well, I mean, I guess because they ain't got no natural enemies, so they just took on off. But yeah, I think pretty well just about all the continental U.S. pretty well has fire ants, either at a minimum or like down here, especially after a good rain. All you got to do is drive down the highway, and you know where the fire ants are, because it'll be
You'll
like
see like knee-high red mounds every 2 feet on the ground.
Yeah, that's wild.
But
Them things is brutal. They show no mercy down here.
When I was a kid, I used to catch red ants, which I guess is a cousin of a fire ant. They kind of look similar. But I'd get a small aquarium and I'd fill it up with dirt and I'd dump all these red ants that I caught in there and I put a cover on there. And eventually they'd start digging tunnels in there and you could see them. It was kind of cool.
Oh, that was neat.
I used to do that every year. Then I discovered bees and I got stung a lot. I ran home crying and my mom would get my dad's pipe tobacco and wet it a little bit and put it on wherever I got stung at, and it just was instantly gone.
Yeah.
good old mama there to fix you up every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's weird around here is the further south you go into South Carolina, the fire ants get so much worse. But if you go up in toward the mountains, there aren't as many. I don't know if it's the cold or the elevation or what it is, but it's if you're down towards South Carolina, you when you stop, you look down when you do what I do out in the woods all the time. Otherwise, you end up with your legs ate up. I hate fire ants. I hate all ants.
That's one sound that you know that some youngins done got into something right there, kind of thing. When you hear that youngin bellowing out, yep, I know what done happened with this one. Told you stay out of that fire ant bed. What you done did? Went and got in.
Youngin or the new survey helper, one or the other.
Survey. Steve saying, stand right here a moment.
Yeah.
Right, tell me good.
Dude, them fire
My son
ants.
figured it out. I can do that.
Yeah. Them fire ants was like hidden mounds of ammunition when you was at war with your brothers in the woods, though.
Well,
Grab a handful of it and fling it in your hair.
especially in a grassy
I'm not
area.
lying, Todd. My brothers were terrible growing up.
Oh man.
I mean, they got a pretty good system. Like if you get a yard like what Tom describes, or Melissa said, their yard is like, where it's pristine, beautiful grass, there ain't a weed in the yard, that kind of thing. Even a yard like that around here, you may not see that big old high mound. You could just simply stand somewhere a few minutes.
And they gonna come out of the ground hunting you down.
Yeah.
It's a squishy spot. If I step
like
on
those-
something and it gets squishy,
I like those guys that pour hot aluminum down the anthill. That's pretty cool.
that is really neat.
Ant art. That's pretty neat. It's amazing how deep those things are and how many tunnels. I mean, there's hundreds of different tunnels. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, their little pantries and holding areas and brood chambers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but like you say, you know, because when, like around here, I don't know how kind of like y'all's dirt is up there. I'm gonna say pretty well the same for the most part. But if you dig around here, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches under the ground, it's not going to be too long before you start getting into some red clay. And it depending on if you had a dry season, if that red clay is going to be like cement, or if it's pretty rainy, you can pretty well get through it with. Hold on, I got to think of the word, because if I say what I want to say, people have a fit. Post hole digger. When you're trying to use a post hole digger, not a certain type backhoe, literally have bent post hole diggers trying to get through that stuff. But where I'm going with the fire ants is, yes, they're a torturous little critter, but at the same time, the beauty that they bring up out of the ground, making their little mound, because you'll have like different tones of that red clay from around here. You'll have a brighter red clay, or just, kind of a not so bright stuff like that. But you can tell when they've kind of went down a little bit deeper, because as they're bringing that stuff up to the top to make their mound, man, it'll look like red brick. I guess best way to explain what it looks like. But they'll be literally all over the place.
Maybe Todd can rent some chickens to eat the ants.
I just saw that. Boy, if chickens do eat ants, I'd love to have a couple of those.
They don't. At least ours don't.
Dang it.
But I
You're
told
just
y'all
feeding them too
before, I
much.
think ours are defective.
Well, I know everybody's talking about getting an anteater.
Well, I'm fixing to say, get in
Yeah.
One week of being on that farm, they look like a tick that fell off a cow after 7 days. And it'd be just all, bloated.
Poor thing can't move, just fall over.
Yeah.
I have seen that. What is it? Like they pour like melted aluminum or something in the ant beds to trace the tunnel?
Yeah, they
And
make
then
them,
dig it out.
what they call it, some kind of casting or something they call it, making them doing that. Yeah, but they'll just pour that hot aluminum down in there, and some of it's really pretty.
That's
Yeah,
what he was
it's
talking about.
crazy.
He's seen art made out of ant bed.
Yeah, and it's wild.
Who's gonna do that in their first beehive?
Mm.
Thinking, okay, on that, and before we done derailed quite a bit, but I was thinking about this for some action beekeeping. What would y'all prefer to see? Let me make sure I use the right words. Poof. What would y'all like to see something go poof? A nuke or a 10 framer? Just
What?
for fun.
You mean
Kaboom.
tannerite boom?
Powder actuated.
Yeah, we can use kind of right. I got some of that. But I was going to start out with some number 6, double op, triple op, then tannerite that baby.
I don't think I want to catch up with this conversation.
Well, that's why I said it right here. That way that you wouldn't buck me too much on
I
camera.
I really wouldn't listen to you. I was trying to find out.
Okay,
What were
good.
you saying?
Don't worry about it. We got this.
Why is
Famous
DC
last
saying
words.
don't use good equipment?
No, I got one of the very first boxes we built, and that thing, y'all, it done the job, but it's pitiful. That poor thing was it's on its last leg. I'll put it like that.
What is it?
The little cedar box we built, getting the church fees, and I just threw that thing together, squared some ends off, made it just right, put a couple cleats in there where the whole frames, did a lid and all that. But I built it out of some old cedar we had, and that thing is pretty well had it as far as just being out in the weather and everything else. And I got to looking at that joker the other day, and I was thinking to myself, boy, it sure would be fun to make it go kaboom and like splinters kaboom kind of thing.
Joey said, don't worry, Tim. Black Eye will be gone by next week.
I'll put, if not, I'll have that dab of what they call
If
it.
not, he'll be extra late doing hair and makeup next week.
I'll wear a patch. That way y'all know.
Yeah, he's not impersonating Captain Jack Sparrow. His mouth finally caught up with him.
It'd be when it was say she done whooped you, Tim, without saying she whooped you.
I'd be down for watching that personally. I don't know if that get it overruled, but yeah, I'd be down. Don't you pull the string on something that's using powder in the beginning of the intro there?
I'd love to get my hands on one of them bad boys.
Mm.
I wish I had one, or if I knew somebody that had one, that would be even better. Then I'd say, hey, look,
I'll bet you've never blown one of these up.
that's it. So let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay for the rounds, however much powder we need
I'm with
to
her.
do this.
I hope you just heard her roll her eyes and huff it. You're going to hear mine roll next.
What the difference between you and most everybody in here? You really know me,
Mm-hmm.
and you know we're gonna go there. I just need what's gonna be the best wow factor for everybody out there, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, you need to go way out there
Y'all
to
don't
do all this.
y'all don't let that talk
I
bother you.
like my house.
Because she'll be right there with me, and she'll probably be one talking about, well, let me pull the trigger.
I only say that when you miss like 27 shots in a row.
Well,
You want me to do that for
I
you?
do that to make you feel better.
Mm. A pumpkin cannon?
That'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
pretty cool.
Pumpkin?
That's what
Is
they
that like
use for the they have a giant, I can't remember what it's called, contest. I think it's up in Pennsylvania where they build these ginormous air cannons and launch pumpkins. Pumpkin chunking. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Oh, they'll fling them babies a football field from what it looks like on the video.
Like 3,000 feet.
that'd be
They
nice.
have super hard pumpkins that are small. Yeah.
That's even worse than the mullet toss they do on the beach down
No,
here.
that is better than the mullet toss because them babies is flying for several hundred feet. That mullet,
Joey, I
Hey, you can-
swear, in my head, I was thinking now is a pumpkin chunking cannon just like a souped up version of a tater gun?
yes.
What we
Yeah,
have down here?
But you can add another layer to this. You could have that pumpkin flying through the air and pretend it's a clay pigeon. Take a shot at it.
Kaboom.
I could do that.
Look, a pumpkin cannon is a grown man's version of a tater gun. Tater guns are for the younger ones,
Okay,
12.
now Joey's talking
18.
about tater cannon.
What? You can
That
make
has
a
gone
tater-
beyond a tater gun.
And the world record for adult air pumpkin chunking, 4,694 feet.
Holy cow!
That's one
A
quarter of a-
catapult.
That's
A
pretty close to.
catapult went 4,000 feet. Yep.
Holy cow!
That's insane.
Boy, hey, all you
And you-
Southerners down here, y'all imagine what the rednecks would be like seeing something like that. You know what I mean?
You know, it would be
You're
nice.
more dumbfounded than me on the chicken renting.
Get a catapult and stick an M80 in that pumpkin, light that sucker, and let that thing fly. That's cool.
Insane.
Uh,
Or a quarter stick of
Went
dynamite.
from blowing up beehives to chunking pumpkin.
well, if you're worried about legality issues,
No, we're not.
okay.
No, you
Some
don't
of
go
us
there.
are not.
Don't go there. You're gonna ruin it.
Sorry.
If you're worried about it, stay within the gray area. Get a bunch of sparklers. Tape the sparklers together. Leave you one sticking up. Put it in there, and Bubba, you better run. That's all I can tell you on that. You better run and get gone.
Get gone like Forrest Gump.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds like Alabama has the same fireworks laws as North Carolina. Anything that's fun is illegal.
Pretty much.
You
I
guys
don't
are
think it's a whole lot of laws out in the county.
Well, there we go. She said that we do
I
live in the
really
county,
don't.
so we don't have many rules on that end, except for don't point them at nobody's house, and that's it.
As long as you ain't hurting nobody, you pretty well all right.
I had a Roman candle war with my neighbor when I lived in Missouri. It was fun. At night. It was great. You could see you could trace them.
Mhm.
Going.
Fun
Glass
time.
Coca-Cola bottle and an armful of bottle rockets are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Or so I've been told.
Not speaking
What?
from experience there, Steve.
If you're driving through this state, don't buy fireworks here. I tell you that. And nothing goes higher than 3 feet off the ground here. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's illegal.
We can't even get 3 feet. It's awful. The laws are awful here, but South Carolina is very close. So it's kind of like in West Virginia, right across the river from Ohio. Ohio had some good stuff back in the day. I think it's been clipped a little bit too. But
I know Missouri and Oklahoma, when I lived back there, you could get mortars 24/7, and set them off.
We can still pretty well do the same around here. Like during 4th of July, New Year's, and all that. Even like with us, with trees everywhere, a lot of the just everyday folks is buying something to shoot around the house, and you can definitely see them get way beyond treetop level. But now in the city, that's a different story. You can't even have a bottle rocket in the city.
Everybody's asking about bottle rocket war.
Loved it.
When everyone said I'll be contemplating on box demolition all week. When is this going to happen?
we could try to do like a 5-state box demo simultaneously. That'd be interesting.
Yes.
Modern society takes the fun out for everyone. DC's rolling his eyes too.
Well, there we go. We could do
Oh,
like,
everything, not everyone.
like Steve saying, get different people from different states. Tell them this ain't nothing to do with beekeeping tonight, y'all. This is all about just being American. And light them off.
Well,
That would be fun.
the county police captain that lived across the street from me is retired, so that gives me a little bit more freedoms.
We can put together a bottle rocket war at Nobby. I don't know about that, y'all.
I said, why bottle
I'm pretty
rockets?
sure
Just make it Roman candles. That's the fun.
Haman's gonna give passes to people say, "Don't you come back? Don't you come back?"
Hey, you know what? I've said this for I don't know how long, the last 3-4 years. Oh, I'm gonna go next year. Oh, I'm gonna go next year. No, I'll be there next year. I will. I went to the conference in St. Louis and I had a blast. And I know that Nobby's going to be what 3-4 days worth of all that tomfoolery. But you know what? I think it would take me 3-4 days just to walk through the vendor hall. I think that's what I'd want to do is just walk through all that stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember the hours now. It's open till 6 on Friday and Saturday night, and it starts at noon on Thursdays, or did last year. This year next year there may be some more classes offered prior to the vending hall open, so you actually get to go to class rather than just talking to everybody.
Yeah,
and maybe some of us working folk might get to go to some classes too.
Yeah, I've got a story. When I was flying back from St. Louis, I went from Dallas back to here, and about the last half hour of the flight, they and I've never heard it before, but the flight attendant was advertising a American Airlines credit card or something like that, and all you had to do was like buy something of any value. There was no minimum value. I could have go bought a piece of candy with it, and I would get credited 60,000 miles, which is enough to fly round trip anywhere in the continental United States on America. And so I thought for a half a second, well, I should use that. And I'd go back to Louisville next year, but I didn't do it. And then right at the end of the presentation, and I know what Steve's doing, right at the end of the presentation, she said, "This is not available online. This is only offered on this flight," which I'm like, yeah, right. This is the only flight. But I wish I did it. I could have gone to the gas station and bought, $20 worth of gas and then pay it off, keep the credit card in my name for a while, then get the miles and then cancel the card.
There you go.
Yeah.
Work the system.
Didn't do it. Or I could hope that DC and Harris swing down from Oregon in a U-Haul and pick me up, and then we drive over to Louisville.
Now that should be live streamed. That should be funny.
Steve, I was having moments of plane, trains, and automobiles, and then back there with a polka band, just getting down and
Driving a U-Haul around, they'd probably get pulled over 10 times between there and Kentucky to make sure they weren't transporting anything they should. They look like they're having too much fun.
the trooper opened up the back door and see Todd back there.
Can I see your papers, please?
Yeah.
I'll have me a little test tube full of ants. I keep in my pocket. I'll pull the cork out and throw them at him.
Trying to get these fire ants out of my state.
One tube at a time.
You'd probably have to pay customs on them leaving California.
Yeah, God, no, they won't let me back in the state. Leaving's fine. Escaping is easy. It's coming back in sometimes it's hard. You cannot have a piece of fruit. You come back across the border, you cannot have a piece of fruit in your vehicle.
Fruit.
Yep, no fruit whatsoever.
That's crazy.
None.
In any
They're
vehicle,
so-
like even passenger cars.
Yeah. no fruit unless it comes on a shipment or something where they can inspect it for like the fruit fly and this and that. There's all kinds of different insects that hitch rides on fruit or inside fruit. They don't want in this state. So, and it's something similar. The red ants with when the commercial guys bring their trucks across the border, they have to park and they get inspected. If they find one ant or one brown recluse or something like that, just one, that whole load has to be offloaded, and then they have to individually spray with a sprayer, spray down the pallet, clean it off, each single pallet. It's crazy.
That's insane.
Just
How
don't
did you see Miss Jan's comment?
Yeah. Oh, I asked her how she liked that cream honey she won on this show.
I hadn't talked to her about it.
But yeah, California's got some they've got some hang-ups. So
I guess the best thing to ask them at the state line would be, look, I got 2 forms of ID. One is documented and one's undocumented. Which one's going to get me in here quicker? I'm not illegal. I'm just undocumented.
Pick me. I know the answer.
I'm glad you know the answer, Steve.
Y'all don't get mad at me. I just had to put that out there.
Oh, there you go, Todd.
Oh.
A+ rating.
Very good.
What flavors did you send?
Gosh, I can't remember now.
I feel like it was what, lemon?
I want to say lemon and cinnamon, or lemon and wildflower.
Okay.
One of the two. Or I know I sent 2, but I don't remember which 2.
Laremore's going to bed to dream about splintered up hive bodies.
Hey, Captain, I'll give you a holler tomorrow, because there's one I got to get back with Mr. Mike Conley. I told him I'd call him today, but we didn't get home from church until way late. And, I curled up in my chair and passed out for a little while.
Wildflower is my favorite, Jan. That's when lemon's second, but wildflower is my favorite.
Ooh, I got to admit, out of all the honeys I've tried, that God love y'all, the ones of you that sent us some, that black locust, to me, is some fine honey.
It is good.
Mine's like it's a really close tie between, and it's weird because they're opposite ends of the spectrum. But Mr. Dan's black locust and Keith Spillman's honey, I can't get off of. I'm gonna cry when I empty that bottle and it's almost gone. But his tulip poplar, oh my word!
I tried Bob Binney's the sourwood when I was in St. Louis. That's really good. I like that.
I've never tried it, but everybody I've talked to says there's like no in between. It's either you love it or you hate it, kind of thing.
And I'll be honest. Before that, my favorite honey that I've tasted was from Sawmill Charlie.
Really?
He's got black locust too. Man, that stuff is good. What he had. Yeah.
Really, we just had that little bit Mr. Dan said.
Mm-hmm. But that stuff was like,
it was like
clear
thick water.
Yeah, it's pretty light.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't. It literally looked like you just took water out of your faucet or a bottle and poured into the jar, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And yes, it was quite tasty. I'll say that.
The disasters is paying his dentist in honey.
Well, hey.
He said my last appointment was no charge.
That's what I'm talking about. Sounds like somebody enjoys bartering themselves.
DC was talking about their Northwest blackberry honey. It is
Mhm.
totally different than Eastern blackberry honey, but it is really good. It's sourwood's my favorite. That Northwest blackberry is a very close second to it. And
Yeah.
Bob actually had a black sage this year or 2 years ago that I tried that was really, really good. I don't even know where that comes from, but
It's a
it is
eastern
really, really
slope. It's the eastern slope of the Sierras. Is where that comes from.
Okay.
It's the California black sage. Well, that's what he had when I tried some when I was back there last month.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's really good too.
But I do agree with you.
The other interesting one is the yellow clover from up in the Dakotas almost tastes like cinnamon. It is awesome.
Oh,
Well, North Dakota clover honey used to be regarded as the best honey in the U.S. It's
really?
Yeah, it's really good.
Hmm. We don't know anybody in North Dakota, do
Well, will they still have that over there like in Wyoming where Jack and Danae are? Or is it just kind of like a certain area?
I don't know.
we?
Now,
We
DC,
just
he's
have
kind of,
white and red around here. We don't have any of that yellow. And I was down at Bob's shop and asked him about it. And he said, yeah, comes from the Dakotas and it's yellow clover.
Mhm.
Okay. Interesting.
well, just something about that clover all around just puts off a good honey. But I imagine there are a little bit better levels, I guess, as far as maybe tasting them.
Hmm. Yeah, I heard DC talk a lot about the fireweed honey. Says it's really good. But I think it's kind of local to his area.
Is that some
Like
of that
Northwest.
cannabis stuff?
Yeah.
That's fireball honey.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm. Well, look, guys, I don't mean to be a party pooper, but my alarm's gonna go off really early, so I'm gonna dip out and let y'all have it.
We,
But I'll catch up with y'all next week, Lord willing. But
yeah, we're going
we'll let this little whiny baby out, and I'm going to bed.
to here in a minute. 'Cause we kind of like on Mr. Randy Tar Heel's schedule. 3:30 is going to be here early.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
And we're gonna finish the ceiling tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
but good night, y'all.
I
Hope
hate
y'all have a
ceiling
good
work.
week.
Oh mercy! I'll
Yes.
tell you this. We'll cut it, but we're going behind somebody, and the looks of it, it looked good. I'm not going to deny that on the man's work, but he had taken pieces of pallets and cut them in different lengths. He had some a few inches long all the way up to a couple feet long, but he just staggered them all along the ceiling up there. And whenever we first went down to look at the job, I was like, well, hey, this actually looks pretty good. Well, we went to turn on a ceiling fan.
Oh no.
Yes. And noticed said ceiling fan was quite loose. So we kind of stepped back and looked at things a little bit more and was seeing where that pallet was starting to turn and belly in several different places. It was like he didn't even hit no ceiling joist or anything up here on this, so it's going to fall. And I did, I guess if you want to call it like a pressure test on it, I took a stick and I just pushed up on the things that had a belly in it. And there were sections that was moving about 2 to 3 foot square. And I told Hannah, I said, this is going to fall on somebody. If they plan on renting this place out, this is honestly a hazard to people. So we talked to the man and he said, let's just redo all of it. So as we're going through and we're tearing things out, one light fixture we get to, I grab one of the piece of pallet wood and that light fixture just completely fell. Well, I looked across the room and I told Hannah, and the guy that's working for me, I said, I sure hope it ain't that way when we get to that ceiling fan. And y'all, as soon as we got over to that ceiling fan, literally the same thing pretty well happened. If somebody pulled, choked down on that cord to turn a light or crank that fan up some more, it would have come down. So we ripping all that out. And now we putting beadboard tongue and groove up there, and we've got everything nailed off the ceiling joist and all that as it should have been. So that's what our big project is, to finish up tomorrow. And hopefully we'll pretty well be done with that trip this week.
You nail that or screw it?
Screwed it off. Yes. I thought about putting ring shanks in there, and I was like, no, I was fussing about this guy even just stapling this stuff off. We're going to put deck screws in it, and that way we know she'll be up there for the long term.
As soon as you have kids swinging on the ceiling fan, at least it won't fall down on them.
I don't know, so they can get after it now. But it's just, you're like, how y'all know how it is. Any line of work you do, there's stuff you look back and you go, how'd you even get paid for this? If I'd have tried doing this, y'all wouldn't even cut me a check. But
I get stuff all the time where previous folks didn't do their job, and then I have to do it for them, and it comes out of my money and not theirs.
yes,
Just frustrating. But
you having to go back and see what they missed. And oftentimes the further you dig back, the further it's going to go as far as this ain't right. And for me to make it right, you either pretty well start over or try to make do with what they have.
yeah, it's tough when you're dealing with somebody that's looking to turn work as opposed to do work, turn it to the next job and get paid. I see it all the time, unfortunately.
No, I tell my customers, look, the next time I want you to call me back is for something different, not for something I have to come repair of my own doings. So we try to, when we leave a job, it's pretty well, all right, we'll see you on the next one, whatever you got. But
yeah,
y'all, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, that's exactly what word of mouth is the best and cheapest advertising you can get. You do a bad job, that spreads faster than if you do a good job. But if you do a good job, they're going to tell their relatives and their friends.
Well, that's exactly my wordage on every single job when we get done, whether it's a new customer or even my old customers. I tell them, say, look, if you're happy when we're done, tell your friends. That's all I ask. And oftentimes, you will get a call from somebody say, old Mr. Jones said you did this for him, and come by and see what I got. But we tried marketing and building websites and all this kind of good stuff for our construction business, and it was just more of a waste of money, to be honest with you, because we just continue to stay busy with our repeat customers and drawing stuff off them to where, we was blessed to work all the way up until the 23rd of December and go back on the 26th.
Yeah, that for me, I've had my survey business here for 5 years, and I've gotten a lot better on Google. But so much of what I get in from Google is just people kicking tires that I end up spending more time on responding to a lead that really isn't a lead than actually doing work here lately anyway. But things surprisingly haven't slowed down at all for me here. I know stuff's different in different places, but seems like everything's ticking right along economy wise.
Thank you. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
gentlemen, I'm gonna jump out of here. I got to start laundry before it gets too late.
Yes, we're gonna mosey on too. But thank you, gentlemen, for popping in. It's been good conversation. We derailed really good. Uh, we did get a little bit of bee chat in, but we appreciate everybody dropping by and hanging out with us. And Lord willing, well, let me put it like this: God bless you, Lord willing. We'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night, y'all.
Great talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Well, guess that's it for today. See you next time at GunlineBees.